Hey guys, it's Sam here, and today I thought I would talk a little bit about but can Liverpool survive without Mo Salah? Or can Liverpool afford to lose Mo Salah is probably the better phrasing of that. And the reason I'm doing this now is because, obviously, we had Monday Night Football last night, and on it, Jamie Carragher said something that really riled up the, what shall we call them? The Twitter knobheads. Let's call them that. It really riled them up, and although he was quite fair in what he said, and it's literally his opinion, which is something else entirely, that I'm sure I'll end up getting into, because I'm sure there's going to be tangents in this video, because a lot of things do piss me off, especially regarding this situation. But yeah, so it all spanned from yesterday. The interview came out with, I think it was NBC, I'm not sure, it's something like that, where the interviewer, and the main video, that is, I don't know if it was just solely that, or if it was like a proper interview that then went on that, which is all I've really seen, because that's the only videos that are floating around, is the main bit where he talks about his future. Basically saying that he was disappointed that he hadn't been offered a contract as of yet, that it's almost December, the club haven't offered him a deal, and at this point he is almost out than in. Basically say he's more likely to leave than to stay at this point. Now, of course, every player, well within their right to say kind of what they want in interviews, especially if you're in contract negotiations. But to put it to Carragher's view, where he said he was a little bit disappointed with Mo Salah for saying it. I can't remember the full wording that he used, but I think he said something along the lines of it's kind of disrespectful to the club, I think, which again, he's well within his right to say. It's his opinion, Salah has his, and everyone else has theirs. My opinion on it is I don't really have one, because I can see both sides. I get when you have when you have someone like Salah who is outright pretty much nearly every week professing his love for the club, professing his love for the fans and everything, and you feel you're still not being offered that deal. I can see how annoying and disappointing it can be. But then I can see Jamie's side, where you don't need to say it really. You don't have to publicly say it. Van Dijk's not, and Trent's not. They're both still in negotiation as well, and contracts are expiring in the summer as well, and they're not saying anything. They're just quiet. If they're asked about their future, they don't really say much. And I feel like that's kind of where Jamie's coming from, is that you're not seeing other players do this. Other players aren't having interviews with other broadcasters or whatever, so really talking about their future in great lengths. They just get asked, and they don't really say much. They say pretty much, we'll see what happens, and it's, you know, they're just focused on football at the minute, which is kind of what you would expect. But we all know what Mo Salah is. You know, we all know that he is a very outspoken person, and he will happily, I think, sometimes maybe talk a bit too much, but it's up to him, obviously, what he wants to say. But the way people go on about it, it feels as if, because I saw someone kind of relatively after that video, it came out that obviously talks with Salah's agent has been positive and are ongoing. And then I saw a comment saying, well, how come Salah doesn't know this? And I sat there thinking, are you really that dumb? The guy clearly knows this. Like, he's clearly aware that talks are ongoing. I mean, I'm sure he's clearly aware that they're positive. The one thing he said was the offer hadn't been there. An actual offer of a contract weren't there. And what then Jamie said was, well, they're not going to offer it. They're not going to offer him a contract right now because he's not going to accept it. He'll reject it because they haven't agreed terms. You don't offer a player a contract if you know they will reject it. If you haven't agreed terms with the agent, then you know the player's not going to accept it. So why would you put the offer on the table now? And I mean, people genuinely, I think that negotiations are like FIFA, where you just sit down, you offer the money, you offer what they want, and they accept, and there you go, it's done. It don't work like that. It's not a video game. This is real life with real money. And what FIFA doesn't show is there's probably a lot of shit in that contract. A lot of bonuses. You get the signing fee, the agent fees, maybe clauses that if he hits a certain target, or if Liverpool win the Premier League, he gets more money, maybe might get a bit of a pay rise as well. Who knows? Anything's open to discussion because these discussions are private where they should be. Of course, I'm in that. They should never be public. They should always be private because at the end of the day, it's no one else's business what's going on, how much money someone's earning. It's none of our business. We're just fans wanting to see them play well on a football pitch. That's all. But yeah, I'm lost. I'm lost. Yeah, so that was basically, as I said, the gist. And then after that came out, obviously, as I said, the Twitter knobheads decided to like have a hissy fit and start crying, and then start abusing Carragher for whatever reason, just because the man had an opinion. Like, you can not agree with someone's opinion, but you don't have to comment on it. Like, you don't have to comment on every single fucking opinion, and that's what really does my head in about Twitter as well. It is the most toxic place in the world. It's more toxic than Chernobyl. I mean, you could go to Chernobyl and be less toxic than if you just went on Twitter for 2 minutes. Because I'm sure every time you scroll, there's gonna be someone. There's beef somewhere about something, and it does my fucking head in. You just want to scroll through to check posts and whatnot, and you just get sucked into a fucking drama that's not needed. Like, people think that he literally has like a month left. on his contract. Like, yes, okay. The thing that's what is, in just over a month, they can talk to foreign clubs and agree contracts with them. Yes, they can. But we have been here before. We've been here before, where players that are ending their contracts, you all panic thinking, oh, they can speak to clubs in like a month or in a few weeks. We need to get this sorted. When that comes around, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because guess what? The players are just focused currently on their team that they play for. Because guess what? If Salah and Trent and Van Dijk left in the summer on free transfers, do you really think they wouldn't have offers in the summer? And the only time they're going to have offers is during that last 5 months of the season. Like, they are going to probably wait. In my opinion, I think they would wait until at least the season's finished to start talking to other clubs if they knew for a fact that Liverpool were not going to offer them a new deal, or at least what they wanted. That's my opinion. I could be dead wrong, but that's what I think would and is probably going to happen, because I don't see this getting resolved in a month. I could be wrong again, but at least all three definitely won't be within a month. So yeah, it's really annoying, because you're seeing them, they flip-flop, bro. This is what's wrong with these people. They flip-flop, throwing the blame at as many people as possible, and then changing it up, because first it was FSG, now I saw, at least yesterday, they were throwing Richard Hughes under the bus, for whatever reason. I don't know why. The man's just literally a sporting director. Yes, he is in charge of the negotiations, but he's only a middleman. Like, the club are the ones that are setting the bar. He's only doing his job. He can't go above the amount the club has said. This is max what you're going to pay him, but try and get it lower. It's exactly the same thing as when transfers happen. The club goes, this is the player this is the player we want, this is what they're currently valued at, this is what we think they may want, try and get it as low as possible. That's literally all is Richard's job. And he's trying. Like, it's not like they're not in discussions. He's clearly in discussions, as we've heard by numerous reporters, yet some people didn't want to agree with it, or didn't want to hear it, especially when it came out just like an hour or around the same time as the interview came out, where it came out that talks had been positive and ongoing. They were all like, oh, FSG's, like, you're on FSG's payroll, it's not true, FSG's puppets here again. And then hours later, David Ornstein said exactly the same thing, and they're all raving. They're all like, oh good, yes, thank you, David. It's like, they're dumb. They are dumb. I don't care. They're dumb. They're dumb as shit. They don't have brain cells. They lack them. I give up. I really do. I give up. I can't be bothered. Because... Why? Why? Like, again, people have their opinions. You don't have to agree with it. But you don't have to turn it into something massive when it's just not needed. Like, if you really watch the entire video, Jamie Carragher does make very good points. Then again, Mo Salah makes very good points, which is why I can see both sides. But you don't have to be on one side. That's what I feel every single time contracts come around, it's always one side or one side. It's not in the middle. It's like these people cannot just see both sides of people's arguments. Like, one has to be right, one has to be wrong. It's like, that's not how it works, bro. It's just not. And it really annoys me, as I've said. It really does. When you look at what he gives to the club, you can't get that anywhere else. You just can't. I don't think there's any other winger right now in world football that, unless, even, I was going to say maybe Vinicius Jr., but even then I don't think he's as big of a goal threat as Mo Salah is. I think Salah right now is probably the most goal threat winger you're going to get in world football, and you're not going to get close. So, going to the actual main point of this video, can Liverpool afford to lose him? Short term, no. Long term, yes. Short term, you know what he's going to offer. You're seeing it right now. You know that he will continue to do incredibly well this season, and you're going to get probably, for that 2-year contract, a very similar, if not possibly, even though I don't think it's possible, but he seems to do it anyway, an even better Mo Salah. Long term, you're absolutely fine long term, because there are always world class players coming through. Always, whether that's at your actual academy or somewhere else in the world, at other clubs, there's always world class players coming. They might not be as big of a goal threat as Mo Salah was. They might not even get near his numbers. But there are always world class players coming, going, and developing in academies currently. But people don't want to wait. That's what I'm also noticing. People do not want to wait. Like, then they don't have patience. They are very demanding now, and they don't want to. They don't have the patience to say, let's just ride this out for a bit. You know, this is where I was going with wasn't last season, the season before. Obviously we had a howler. We absolutely had a howler, and there were some people that were saying Jurgen Klopp needed to go. They weren't willing to wait and ride this season out. They just wanted him gone. Then what happened? Season later, we're back to being very competitive. They're all loving Jurgen Klopp again. And then he leaves and they're all crying. Like, no, you can't leave us. Please don't leave. It's like 7 months ago, 6, maybe 5 months ago, you were calling him to leave. So don't you pipe up. That's the issue. People are very... Football fans are very, very dumb. We can say that. They're very dumb. Anyway. I do put myself in that bracket at times. I'm dumb. I'm dumb at times as well. Like, I can't lie, at times my bias towards Liverpool will come in. If I feel like a decision has gone against us, I'm going to be the first one to complain. But then if I see it back, I'm probably going to think, maybe I was wrong. At least I can admit at times when I've been wrong. Like, for instance, the game against Southampton on Sunday, Robertson's challenge, at first, I wasn't 100% that it was in the box. I was like, that's outside, gives a penalty, goes to VAR, they still give the penalty. I'm a little bit pissed. I'm like, how can you give a penalty? But when you actually see as many replays as if you keep watching, Robertson's foot is definitely, I think, on the line. I think it's very close. If it's not, it's probably half a millimetre off the line. Like, you're not seeing that. Even with VAR, you're not seeing that. It's not possible. You'd have to have literally a camera right on the boot or right on the line to tell you if it was 100% on or off. But if it looks on the line and the referee's already given the penalty, you can't overrule the on-field decision. You have to go with what the referee's done, which is what they did, which fans, again, Twitter fans, blew up going, oh, here we go, the referee biased towards Liverpool again. And it's like, honestly, get a life. Like, get a life. It's so embarrassing to see, and it makes the fan base look bad. It does. These Twitter trolls, these Twitter knobheads, these Twitter dicks, whatever you want to call them, they just make your fan base look bad. And every fan base has them. Every fan base. But they do just make your club look bad. And they make your fan base look bad, because I guarantee most of the people in the stadium, if they were going on, if they had their Twitter comments to say, I guarantee probably most of them be kind of on board with what I've been saying, which is like, they see both sides, just wait. Honestly, just wait. Why panic? Why be so animated or so... Why is the word slipping me? So... I don't know. I feel like you're trying to get what I'm saying here, but why do you have to be so, like, annoyed at the situation? Why can't you just be patient and just wait? Just wait and see what happens. Enjoy the moment. That's all you have to do. How many times, whilst Jurgen Klopp was manager, did he say, just enjoy the moment? Don't worry about the future. Don't even worry about the past. Just enjoy the moment you're in. Why can't people do that? Why do people have to constantly have something to complain about? Whether it's FSG, whether it's Richard Hughes, whether it's players, whether it's referees, whether it's other clubs fan bases. Like, it drives me up the fucking wall, I won't lie. It's every time. And it, like, I'm enjoying. The reason I'm not panicking at this stage is because it is November. They still have, what, 7 months to negotiate? At least. Unless they do negotiate with another club and accept. They have 7 months. 7 months is long enough. At least. 7 months anyway, because I'm not good at maths and I'm not going to count right now. I can't be bothered. I can say we're in November. Obviously January to May, sorry, is 5. Contract probably expires in June, so that's 6. So that's 7. Okay, maybe 8 months. But we're at the end of November. 7 months. Okay, I'm there. 7 months to negotiate, which is long enough. And I'm going to say, if it gets to the end, if it comes out, and whether in the next few weeks or whatever, these 3, maybe just 2 of the 3, maybe just 1 of the 3, maybe it is Mo Salah, announces that he'll be leaving at the end of the season, then I can take your moaning and complaining. I got, alright, now you can complain. But until that happens, and if that happens, why do you get yourself worked up over it? Like, just enjoy what's going on the pitch. We're 8 points clear at the top. Going into the game against City next Sunday, in which we could go further clear. We could go 11 points clear. At least of City, anyway. Like, just enjoy what you're watching right now. And don't get so worked up over things that ultimately you have no control over. And whatever you say, however many times you at the club on Twitter, they're not going to listen to you, so please just stop. Because you're not even at in the club, you're literally, that's not Liverpool. That's some guy that the club has employed to run the social media page. You're literally just atting the admin, who can't do fuck all. It's not like they can go to FSG and say, fucking Kevin 014 on Twitter with a fucking picture of an egg has demanded you give Mo Salah his dough. Do you really think he can do that? Even if he attempted to. I think John Henry will be like, who the fuck are you? Because he's not even the one that's employed it. Someone else has. So he doesn't know John Henry. Like, just chill and wait and see what happens. Don't get worked up, because it's really, at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. It really isn't. We've been here before. They always said Liverpool couldn't afford to lose Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, Dalglish, Rush, Torres, Suarez, Gerrard. Look what happened. With some of those, it did take a couple of years. But look what happened. Especially Steven Gerrard. Probably one of the most important players in Liverpool history. Because at that point, in the teams he was in, we were not good. And the amount of times he single-handedly won us games. I mean, we only won the Champions League, let's face it, because of him. It was his goal against Olympiacos. It was his header against Milan that started the comeback. Like, we only won the FA Cup because of him. It was his last minute screamer that took it to extra time. Like, the amount of times he won us games, the fact that he was such a big leader and head for this club. What happened? He left, and yes, it took a couple of years for Jurgen Klopp to work his magic, but we went on and won everything. So you can, yes, you may take a hit short term, but in the long term, Liverpool Football Club will always be bigger than any player in the world. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if he leaves, if Van Dijk leaves, if Trent leaves, if all three leave, short term, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Long term, doesn't matter, because we'll still have a football club. That's all I care about. I don't care who plays for the Red of Liverpool, as long as I get to see my club play. Like, that's, in the end, all that really matters. Of course I want to win. Of course I do. I love seeing Liverpool at the top, because I spent my childhood watching Liverpool be shit, pretty much. Most of my childhood, we were shit. I hated it. I hated that we were shit. But I love Liverpool. That never changed. And it never will. I don't care if we lose these players. We go down. We keep going down. We drop. We end up getting relegated. I don't care. Well, I do. Obviously, I care. But I'm not... I don't really get worked up about it. Because at the end of the day, it's football. At the end of the day, I have a club that I love, that I support, and will support no matter what. And I'll support the players that play for this club. All the players, not just one individual. I support the whole team. And if one individual goes, you've still got so many other players. Yes, they might not be as good. They might not get anywhere near the numbers. But at the end of the day, you have a club that you love, that you support. That's all that really matters. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent, as I said I would. That's it, I think. Don't think I missed anything. I probably did. And I'd probably, as soon as I stop this recording, think, oh, I could have said this. Or I probably should have said this better. Or whatever, but it's done. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.